Takulandirani ku AMTV Malawi kuchimake kwa nkhani zenizeni. Ngati nkhani imeneyo kuno kulibe, dziwani kuti nkhani imeneyo ndi yabodza.
Akutine simkumvayo. Uchifukwa chani Tidatsila uti ndikuvomeradi fumu yanga. Ndatsiradi. Chifukwa anthu ngosamva. Fumu pamudzi imakhala imodzi. Ndipo mfumuyo ndi asukufuna kaya ukufuna koma mfumuyo ndi mfumu basi. Kuriza joga mfumuwo ndekuti yamwalira adzabwera wina. Sono kwauza nzatuwa kuti iyayi izi musachite panganizi sadamve. Ndedzulo ngati munamva kuti utsunda tuluka unoso ngochepa sadati. Ndipo ndunena zoona. Chifukwa iwowo akadakhala padzana akadabwera kuno mfumu yanga kudzakuuzani kuti ife mwana wanuyu adachimwa ndi ameneyo tikummanga. Mukamva kuti tammanga musadabwe, zimene adachimwa ndizi. Koma sadachite inu mukangomva ma TV ndi ma radio nolomani ngati panadolotu mama masana madzulo ngati panadolo. Lero kungu agwira pang'ono akadakanga difenda akadamwaliratu. Mulungu anatidalitsa mphamvu nkona tikupezeka lero tili moyo. Nde akangobwera Mungu auza kuti pepani muchiteso muja munkanchitira nzanu. Ngati mudabwera kwa ife kudzatiuza tikulandirani khalani yanga. Fanda kusowa mtendere kumasanati tikhalirana. Apanga tilipikire skulu yes. Lero.
Glad you could join us. First Lady Madam Professor Gertrude Mutarika has launched the Youth Dialogue on Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights project in the northern region with a call for collective action in addressing challenges affecting young people in the country. Speaking at the launch in Mzuzu, Madam Mutarika said the initiative under the Organization of African First Ladies for Development seeks to provide a platform where youths from different backgrounds can openly discuss issues surrounding sexual and reproductive health and rights. More in this report by George Mkandawide.
Upon arrival, the First Lady toured pavilions mounted by young people and organizations offering sexual and reproductive health services, among others. Speaking at the launch, which is the first of its kind in the country, Professor Gertrude Mutarika observed that many adolescents are facing challenges such as peer pressure, unemployment, and lack of parental guidance, a situation she said has contributed to rising cases of teenage pregnancies, new HIV infections, and early marriages. The First Lady also encouraged young people to prioritize education and avoid early sexual activities, saying education remains a strong tool for securing a better future.
It is sad to learn that 3 out of 5 new HIV infections among adolescents occur in girls. Furthermore, our teenage pregnancy rate, as we have been told, has risen from 29% to 32%. This is not good for us. This is a wake-up call for us. We must scale up interventions that provide universal access to sexual and reproductive health and rights, as well as HIV services. Speaking out is the first step towards healing and policy change. Let me encourage you young people to continue speaking out. Speak out and let your voice be heard. To all young people gathered here and across the country, I speak to you as a mother. If you are at school, work hard. Complete your education. Education is the only shield that will never fail you.
Earlier, Minister of Youth Alfred Gangata described the initiative by the First Lady as an important platform for young people to openly discuss challenges affecting their sexual and reproductive health.
Allow me to sincerely thank you, Your Excellency Professor Gertrude Mutharika, First Lady of the Republic of Malawi, for your strong and consistent commitment to the well-being of adolescents and youth in our country.
A youth representative, Yasin Salim, said much as the country is doing well on sexual reproductive health services, there is more to be done on the matter.
The first challenge is lack of access to information. Many youth have not get that information about sexual and reproductive health rights. So about that, they go with their peers and they tend to deceive each other about the information which is not true on the ground.
Among those who graced the occasion were Madam Tadara Chihana, spouse to the second Vice President, Deputy Minister of Gender, Martha Mzomera Ngwira, and other senior government officials. About 300 young people participated at the event with different performances from music to poetry, among others. George Kandawire, MBC, Mzuzu.
Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Toko Tembo, has advised farmers in the country to use certified hybrid seed for increased productivity. He made the remarks at Kampala in Lilongwe during the SEEDCO 2026 National Field Day. More in this report by Mwaim Tumodzi.
Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Toko Tembo, said a lasting solution to unpredictable rainfall patterns that affect agricultural production is using certified hybrid seed. Tembo says this is why government has welcomed the introduction of new seed varieties by SEEDCO Malawi.
Most of the time, almost every year, we have been hit with droughts and so many weather challenges that the local seeds cannot meet these particular challenges. So that is why today, after seeing what SEEDCO is doing, we're encouraging farmers to use hybrid seeds so that they can withstand these type of pressures. And also we've seen how the SEEDCO seed or the hybrid seed is so much better than the other seeds in terms of how much they can get out of an acre.
Meanwhile, Managing Director for SEEDCO Malawi, Boyd Luwe, says the company has unveiled two new seed varieties, SC449 and SC657, alongside a mobile payment initiative dubbed Mbeu Pafoni, which allows farmers to buy seed in installments.
This is SC449, the placard of which is behind us. This is Kanyani. We used to have 403. There were complaints about open tip with 403. We've come up with this new variety, which is 449, where the tip doesn't open and therefore the cob doesn't rot. We have also launching SC657, which is a medium maturity range. As you know, Malawi is dominated with the maturity range varieties. SC657 is to make sure that more of our farmers have got this variety.
The 2026 SEEDCO National Field Day was held under the theme Innovative Seed Solutions for a Productive Malawi. Mwaim Tumodzi, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Public Accounts Committee, PAC, says it will engage the Ministry of Finance to help recover about 1.6 billion kwacha government owes Malawi Housing Corporation, MHC. This follows a revelation that various government entities are owing MHC about 1.6 billion kwacha in unpaid rentals, a development which is crippling the operations of the corporation. Temba Mali reports.
According to PAC Chairperson Steve Baba Malondela, his committee will engage the Treasury so that they facilitate the recovery of the debt as soon as possible.
Malawi Housing Corporation recently has not been posting profits, and we wanted to have an interface to understand what is happening. And we've noted that they haven't utilized the commercial interest, and we're just having an interface to understand who are still owing the institution. And some of the institutions, you're looking at government institutions like the MTF, you're looking at prison, you're looking at the police. So currently we're looking at ways on how we can ensure that that money of 1.5 billion is recovered. So we'll be engaging the Secretary of Treasury
President Cabinet as well as all the relevant officials to ensure that that amount is paid, to ensure that there is a proper liquidation here and their operations are not affected.
While acknowledging that MHC has been performing poorly financially, Chief Executive Officer for the corporation, Bob Chinkango, says MHC still has the potential to become a profitable entity.
Malawi Housing Corporation is a sleeping giant. The story that is told out there is that we're struggling, but we are not struggling. We're just strangled, as I said. Malawi Housing Corporation has the capacity, has the potential to grow, but being a government institution, being a public institution, what we need is now the political will to let us grow. We should be set free to say, now you can do other avenues to generate income. Tell us what to do, we'll do it. Give us what to do, we'll do it. We're not here to ask for money from government. We're not here to ask for any subventions. What we are trying to say is that government, because we're their child, they should facilitate for us to get works. Once we get the works, we'll earn whatever we need.
Malawi Housing Corporation's liabilities are pegged at 8 billion kwacha. Over the past 5 years, the entity has made losses in excess of 6.5 billion kwacha. Temba Mwale, MPC News, Blantyre.
Deputy Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Francis Foley, says government is working on building strong partnerships to promote priority technological areas that align with the Malawi 2063 agenda. Foley made the remarks in Lilongwe during the Malawi Technology Needs Assessment meeting. The assessment has identified agriculture, mining, ICT and energy as key sectoral areas with significant impact on national development. The Deputy Minister said the assessment is critical as it will help the country develop solutions that are in line with its development goals. The report has been conducted by the United Nations Technology Bank for Least Developed Countries in partnership with the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. Foley explains.
Technology and innovation play a very critical role for sustainable development. They play a very critical role for structural transformation. And now, translating this whole vision, translating this ambition into concrete results, Malawi as a nation needs to find better ways of clearly identifying its priority technologies, build capacity of its citizens, as well as building effective partnerships. Now, because of that, this is why it is very important that Malawi today, together with our friends, together with our partners from the United Nations Technology Bank, have launched this Technology Needs Assessment Report. This report will help Malawi as a nation to clearly define its priority technologies that will help Malawi as a nation find appropriate solutions, find actionable solutions that are aligned with Malawi's development goals.
You're watching MBC. Moving on, Minister of Defense Feston Kauba has called on government ministries and agencies, MDAs, to embrace digital technology to improve efficiency and effective use of resources. Kauba made the remarks in Lilongwe during the launch of the Malawi Bureau of Standards Management Information System, MIS, which seeks to digitize the Bureau's operations. More in this report by Madalitso Mhango.
As part of driving the digital transformation agenda to improve public service delivery, the Malawi Bureau of Standards, MBS, has launched a management information system to digitize its operations. Speaking during the launch, Minister of Defense Feston Kauba described the digitalization of the Bureau as a milestone for the country's economy, saying it will create a conducive business environment, attract investors, and create jobs for Malawians. Kauba said the system will help MBS to detect substandard products, a development that will protect consumers' health and safety.
Digitalization of MBS operations is creating a conducive business environment which will attract investors, promote businesses. End result is job creation, and we need to create a lot of jobs for our youth, for our women, and even for our men to develop this economy. So this economy can only be developed by ourselves as Malawians, by our own institutions. And one such institution is the Malawi Bureau of Standards, which is a regulatory institution for businesses in Malawi.
MBS Director General Simon Mandala said the system will allow the business community to access information, apply for certification, and access other services online without visiting the Bureau's offices. He added that the MIS will also help curb corruption by reducing physical human interaction, thereby promoting transparency and accountability in the Bureau's processes.
The significant part of the delays was due to the manual processing of results. You could have results from the lab, and maybe we have 500 or maybe 100 results for 100 samples, and they're on the table. Someone has to process all that, manually. That will take time. So what we are saying now, this system addresses, all the systems are interconnected, are connected to the lab. The results are out, they are already in the system.
MBS Management Information System has been developed with financial support from the World Bank through the Southern Africa Trade and Connectivity Project. Madalitso Muhango, MBC News, Lilongwe.
One of the oldest churches in Malawi, built by missionaries and local Malawians, St. Michael's and All Angels CCAP, has clocked 135 years. The session clerk at St. Michael's and All Angels CCAP Church, Gospel Mavutula, says it is imperative for Malawians to celebrate the milestone attained by this historic church. Nixon Malemia has compiled this report, read by Temba Mwale.
According to Mavutula, the milestone reflects the church's long-standing mission of nurturing faith and strengthening Christian values among its members.
Basically, what we are looking at is people should just see the faithfulness of God. God has been very faithful. So we're saying, as people, sometimes we go through situations and sometimes we think we are alone, but through this celebration, we want to say God is faithful and has been faithful with us, and He will be faithful with everybody in any situation. For us to celebrate 135 years, there were some people, 135 years, that preached Christ. They brought this church. We must come together to preach Christ so that in the next 135 years, others also can look back and say, yes, about 135 years ago, there were some of these Christians that preached Christ and they came. So as a church, as members, let's come together, let's join together, let's pray for the church, let's love one another.
Some members who attended the celebrations expressed excitement over the church reaching 135 years, saying it has played a significant role in their spiritual growth and encouraged other members to continue serving God faithfully.
I'm very excited for this celebration because 135 years that we are celebrating for St. Michael and All Angels mark the, I think, the extent of the contribution of this church in the development of not just Blantyre, not just the country, but I think of Malawi, because as human beings, we don't just exist physically, we are spiritual beings. And this church has contributed to the development spiritually of a lot of people, including myself.
Today I'm very excited, and I think it's one day that I always don't want to miss. I've been a Christian at St. Michael's and All Angels since 1998, and we have been celebrating these celebrations year over year. So most of the time I try not to miss the celebrations. I would really say I've grown spiritually, I think, with St. Michael's and All Angels Church. When I was joining, I was a very young lady, I think just married, without kids. But through the teachings, the encouragement, I've been able to raise my children in a Christian way. I've served in the church in different ways.
The celebrations, which were graced by musical performance from Favored Martha and St. Michael's and All Angels Praise Team Choir, began with a commemorative walk from Henry Henderson Institute to Blantyre Town Hall. The commemorations are expected to continue on Sunday at St. Michael and All Angels CCAP Church with a special prayer service.
Blantyre Water Board has assured residents of a stable water supply after the board successfully installed 6 water pumps at Walker's Ferry. Blantyre Water Board Chief Executive Officer Yeremia Chihana said this when he appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Corporations, as well as state entities in Lilongwe. Chihana has also recommended a 45% water tariff adjustment to help the institution recover from its loss-making position. He speaks to our reporter, Trust Office.
At the moment, from Walker's Ferry, we are able to pump with 6 pumps, six from the direct pumping from the Walker's Ferry from the Shire, which have gone down to about 12 meters deep, and we have installed with the divers from South Africa. We're also doing the pumping from the subsidiary pump of, I think, 20 million from Walker's Ferry into Chireka. So that now is quite okay. We're at 100%. If there should be challenges in Blantyre now, it's no longer water, it's pumps which are bursting. But we're able to feed the Kabula, we're able to feed the Mount Pleasant, Chiromoni, and the Bangwe. But the big challenges is now, apart from these other pumping challenges, the water levels have for some time been not enough in the tanks. So we are also combining with the cleaning of the tanks. So cleaning of the tanks is also disrupting a little bit, but we're at 100% pumping. Our pumps are the pumps are now alternating. We're now no longer rotating in terms of production.
Malawi Police Service is engaging sports to sensitize communities from the lower Shire districts of Chikwawa and Nsanje on the dangers of taking the law into their hands. 8 people from the 2 districts were brutally murdered following false claims on the alleged disappearance of male private parts. Maulana Lemani has filed this report, read by Simeon Boyce.
As part of the campaign, the Area 30 football team, Blue Eagles Football Club, is here in Nsanje, where it is facing Nsanje Select in a friendly match at Nsanje Community Ground. Communities from Nsanje have come in large numbers to witness the match. For Malawi Police Service, this is an opportunity for an awareness campaign on mob justice, which has caused the death of 2 people in the district.
Boma kufuna kuletsa mtitizo mene wochitika wenu unachitiwa uli pang'ono muntu apiwa pang'ono apiwa adakhala babanu adakhala manu adakhala mwananu adakhala mtsukulanu munamvatani abalaka kuno kusanje tende tipeleke pepipi kuti mwinango tichinje chikwathu.
In her remarks, Deputy Commissioner of Police Jacqueline Kainja, who is accompanied by officials from Nsanje District Commissioner's Office and the chiefs, says sports is an important tool for disseminating information.
People by nature just love football, and it invites a huge crowd, as you can notice here at Nsanje. We never expected that would have a huge crowd, and using football is a good message giver, I would say, and people love to watch football. And as they are playing, we also give out the message that we've come with. In this case, please avoid mob justice. Do not take the law into your own hands.
Vice Council Chair for Nsanje District, Esnat Esimenti, says they will work hand in hand with the Malawi Police to ensure that peace returns in the district. Government has deployed over 300 police officers to restore order following incidents of mob justice. Civil society organizations that include Malawi Human Rights Resource Center, MHRRC, have also joined the campaign. The march ended in favor of Blue Eagles through a lone goal that was scored in the dying minutes.
FDH Bank Premiership defending champions Mighty Wanderers today got their 2nd win of the season after beating rookies Luana Mitundu by 2-0 at Dedza Stadium. The win comes on the back of their derby defeat to rivals FC Binyasa Big Bullets last week and takes their tally to 6 points in 3 matches. Elsewhere, Ekaya and Kamuzu Barracks registered their first victories of the season, coming at the 4th attempt. Ekaya beat Moyale by 2-0 at Mpira Stadium, while Kamuzu Barracks were 3-1 winners over Craig Sporting Club. Craig and 3 other teams remain winless this far. In the other match played on Saturday, Civil Service United missed the chance to go top of the table after losing to Chitipa United by a goal.
Osaiwala kupanga subscribe ku channel ya AMTV Malawi.